And perfect. So now they can all hear us. Hey everyone. Hope you guys are all doing well. My name is D'Angelo Murillo. Thank you so much for stopping by on my channel. Tonight is the third episode of Emerald Templars, the campaign, where we're playtesting this like dark fantasy game of my like own creation. And tonight's very special because we actually have one of the writers here, which was Hamna, also our special guest and everything. So yeah. We'll get more into Emerald Templars and all of that soon, but right now I want to go ahead and honor the cast by having them introduce themselves and where they can be found and so on and so forth. I always do a rule on my channel. If you've been here before, then you absolutely know what's coming. And it's simply that you have to give yourself, full praise with your full chest and talk about how amazing you are. No ooh-woos, or I don't really do anything in particular. If you do have confidence in yourself and that strong self-esteem and everything, you will get a plus 10% bonus on whatever roll of your choice this evening. If you choose to be meek and humble and everything like that, then you get a negative 10 of my choice on whatever roll I choose. So it's good to hype yourself up. Live your best life. You're the main character, not the side character. So we're going to go ahead and start off with Fen.
I was like, who's that? That's me. Hi, everyone. My name is C. I use they, them pronouns. You can find me making very trans, very gay art on the internet at Pi Sharp Art. I do lots and lots of stuff, so if you want to know where I am at any given time, you can check me out on my Twitter. You can always find me over on Transplaner RPG. I have this little dangly earring on my Fen ears tonight, and I'm super excited to be here, so check me out. And I will pass things over to Joe.
Popcorning. I'm Josephine. I'm at Scary Dog Friend on Twitter and TikTok. I'm at MFA. That's not true. I'm at Scary Dog Friend. Did I say that already? I don't know what's going on. I have a Not Safe for Work Monster Fucker podcast with my friend Cleric34. Today, someone commented on our YouTube. This is very, very, this is a lot of production for what seems to be a podcast only for a small group of people. And that's, if you like that kind of content, then you can go ahead and follow me and listen to my podcast, Monster Truckers Anonymous. You can find me here, Starlight Tales, Going for an RPG, as well as Girls Around These Worlds. I'm going to start running a Call of Cthulhu game over at Going for an RPG this month later. We have a wonderful cast brewing up. Promo will be there for that soon. And yeah, doing lots of stuff.
And do you want to pick who goes next, or you want me to choose?
Janine.
I was about to choose myself, so it doesn't matter. Hi, my name is Janine, also known as Blips and Shits on the internet. You can find me on 12-Sided Stories on Tuesday. We do a variety stream over there. We just finished up our last episode of The Blood We Spill. I can't remember the name of the system, but it was really, really fun. You can find me on Sundays that I'm not here over on Total Party Chill doing a long homebrew campaign that is lovely and evolving into a beautiful story. And if you want to hear my voice on podcasts, 12-Sided Stories has all of the work I've done for podcasts, I think. And there's some spooky stories there, and we've got some Halloween episodes coming out eventually in October. Holy shit, it's only September. Right?
Yep, September 4th.
I was like, did I get paid? Yeah, and I guess that leaves our wonderful special guest, Hamna.
Yes, hi, hello everybody. My name is Hamna. I use any and all pronouns, and I am a TTRPG performer. You can find me on Twitter at @shahid_, where I talk about all of the different projects I'm a part of. I am on a variety of different streams, so Twitter's the best place to know where I am at any given point in time. If you like morally gray characters, queer disasters who make bad decisions, that is literally all of the characters I play. Today is no exception. So yeah, you should come follow me. It's a great time.
Perfect. And we're super excited to have you, Hamna. And thank you for being a writer for Emerald Templars as well. So I'm excited to have you here and let me know how good or bad the game is. So that way we get
I'm sure it's amazing.
So, yes. Speaking of Emerald Templars, it is a dark fantasy tabletop role-playing game where you play as a faction known as the Emerald Templars. They are the sort of guardians of the community against the threats of chaos magic in all its many forms, whether it be necromancy, demonology, chronomancy, so on and so forth, because this world has a lot of weird, creepy things that roam around in it, as these Emerald Templars of our story have like quickly found out. This story of the campaign revolves around these like, you know, sort of recruits within their first 6 months of being Emerald Templars. They pass training. They're now serving their 2 years, at least initial 2 years, and that means that they can decide to continue on with the Emerald Templars or simply cut ties and walk, you know, whatever path they want in life. But as for right now, they decided to, or they got stationed in a small settlement called Barrio, which was simply a like agricultural town. Nothing really happens here. It's kind of in the middle of a few other major cities, and this is kind of like the borderlands. But they're stationed there just to make sure everything goes well. If anyone needs the Emerald Templars for whatever reason, they can quickly get to there because they're stationed like in the middle of these crossroads and everything. However, on one fateful morning, there was a carnival that actually appeared, and they decided to investigate. And as they did with the rest of this sort of town, they found games of like wonder and amazement and chance and everything, and got to get caught up in all this sort of stuff. And they had their very heavy suspicions that things were off and a little bit weird, especially when they saw a demon literally get summoned before their eyes. So they decided to like gather this information, ask their questions, and then finally exit to go and figure out how to address this. As they left this carnival tent, they walked to their headquarters, and it quickly found that the world that they were in is not the same world that they're in, you know, currently. As they noticed that these like super stormy clouds were no longer there. There was just rain, there was a sunshine and like flowers blooming, birds singing, all that kind of stuff. And they quickly realized that this was an illusion world, a dream world that isn't at all reality. And not only that, but their fellow townspeople also discovered that. And they were quickly approached by a religious organization called the Sons of Midnight, who came over and welcomed them with open arms, saying like, hey, you know, we understand your situation. You're now in this dream realm. We are in this dream realm. You don't have to panic or get stressed. You can just like drink the Kool-Aid and be one of us and like, you know, have a great time and everything. So like, they essentially invited them to become a part of the Sons of Midnight, where you worship the Pink Witch. The Pink Witch being a like section of the witches that specifically guarded the dream realm and made sure that everything was good, but their organization and like faction fell to pieces because they got too tempted by the dream realm, and they wanted to be more in that realm rather than in reality because it's just so much more blissful and everything. So the last Pink Witch is this one, who is fabled to take people, innocent people, and then capture them into the dream realm and feed upon them to become empowered and all that. So this Sons of Midnight, this religious organization, worshipped the Pink Witch, and they decided that this was not okay, and this was like not going to go down, and they were not going to participate, essentially. So during a feast, a celebration for some members to rise to become bishops of their sort of like religious faction, they decided it would be a good time to intervene and actually decide to disrupt it, to try to like, you know, take an item of power, which is a specific scepter, and use it to modify it, thanks to the insight from a doll, a quirky stuffed animal that had a soul inside of it that warned them of what happened to them, essentially any naysayers and all that. So sure enough, they fought the good fight, and thanks to a donator last session, an old god was summoned. There's like so much to learn. Oh my god,
that was so lucky. Could have been worse.
I know, yeah.
It's so much worse.
I had so much planned for that fight. So like, so a donator, if that, you know, organically leads to another thing. There are donations enabled for this stream. All of it goes to the cast. So if you'd like to like donate and support the cast at the end of the night, everything will get chopped up 4 ways and go straight over to them to thank them for their hard work, time, and effort for being here. And yeah, so one of those donations is summon an old god. The old gods are some of the most powerful beings lore-wise in the world, who are currently imprisoned in different realms. And every so often they get tempted to leave their prison, which you can do at any time, but they choose to be in prison to go in and see, you know, what the world's like and all that kind of stuff. So they summoned Belladonna, which is actually the old god of the dream realm, and she was like furious and envious that people in her own realm would worship someone other than her. So she decided to wipe out anyone wearing the religious garbs and then told the Emerald Templars that she recognized them to be these like guardians of the community, to go off and do her bidding, which was to slay this like cult, some might say, and who worship this false god, and that way her realm can be, you know, rightfully ran and worshipped to the true god, which was her and everything. So they were like, sounds good, as many would do in front of like immense cosmic power, as she helped them by teleporting them as far as she could to where the Pink Witch's current location is. Now, it didn't take you guys directly there, but it did take you to a settlement. And this is where our kind of story like begins here, as you guys are all thrown through sort of time and space, and you land violently into this sort of settlement. As you crash on the ground, you know, muck and mire kind of like cover your gear and everything as you're rolling because of so much force and velocity that you flew and everything. And you kind of look around to your surroundings, and you do see that it's a settlement of some sort, and there are various statues and paraphernalia that worship the Pink Witch. However, they are altered and not exactly the same that you were, like the settlement you were in, because those were immaculate. There were flowers thrown everywhere around the Pink Witch statues and all that kind of stuff, and this has similar things, but a lot of them have graffiti over it, where they're painted over and everything, that have the symbols of lions, specifically the insignias of the Iron Lions. Which you know to be a sort of, not a sort of, a criminal syndicate of these sort of, a few people of, organized crime, some might say, where they deal in trade of like, black market goods, extortion, assassination, narcotics, smuggling, all of that sort of stuff. And they're known throughout the lands for being good at what they do. So much so that like governments, religious factions, and even the Emerald Templars have been known to deal with them in kind, because they just offer services that are very beneficial. And for the desperate and poor, they offer a way to a better life, essentially, if they survive and do a good job at what they're asked to do, essentially. So it's very awkward that you arrive here, as you look around, and immediately your senses are assaulted with the sight of conflict. As you look to see a person, it is we're going to say a goblin, like a goblin man, maybe middle-aged and everything, as he has a giant, sort of broadsword and is trying to strike at what you recognize as a nightmare. You don't take anxiety because you've already seen this creature, a manifestation of, terror and horror that other people are dreaming about, as it just takes this goblin and tears him apart in front of you, and, blood just sprays onto you, and everything, as you realize you're in the thick of it. Not only that, but you see one person that is not a nightmare. And Leo, would you like to give you a physical description of yourself?
Yes, I think you see, sort of amongst all of this fighting, you see a tall, dark red-skinned Oni with these two horns that protrude out from their head. They're wearing this... Honestly, they look a little bit out of place on a battlefield because they're wearing this finely pressed white collared shirt. They're wearing these dress pants that are so finely pleated. It's a wonder that it hasn't been messed up throughout this whole fight. And they have their sort of sleeves rolled up to their elbows as they kind of stand there. Jewelry dripping off of their wrist, their fingers, their neck, silver jewelry specifically. And if you were to look closer, you would be able to see that they have actually their shirt unbuttoned all the way down, and through it you can see an arcane tattoo of an iron lion just kind of peeking through, a little bit of its snout, a little bit of its mane kind of peeking through as they do. And they're standing there, this dagger, this great jambaya in their hand. They're twirling it. It's a curved blade, and they're just kind of looking down at everything that's happening. The blade doesn't have any blood on it or anything. It doesn't look like they've actually used it. They're not fighting, they're observing.
Perfect. So, you see this individual as they're clearly a gangster, as they're from the Iron Lions and everything, full-blown member and all that. And some of you might recognize them, depending. But as you are here, you realize that this isn't a time for essentially discussion. As the goblin that was like buying you guys a few moments, just pleading to their gods to save them, got torn in half and is now looking to you guys for, you know, to throw hands. So I'm going to need all of you to make initiative rolls, which is essentially the D10, and then you're going to do your agility and nimble. And where is my notebook?
Handy dandy
46 for Fen.
notebook. Nice.
66.
You said 56?
66.
66, okay. And that was...
46 for Fen.
And you said tens or zeros, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, I got okay. Technically rolled a 0, so 14.
14, okay. And then Zora?
98.
Oof, okay.
Word.
And then Fen, it was 46?
Correct.
Okay. And then the baddies.
The baddie.
That's oof. Okay, so all right, cool. First one up is gonna be Zora with the 98.
How many enemies are we facing currently?
It is 2, and they are, to give you kind of a description. They were about 7 feet tall. They look to weigh about 300 pounds, and they're just like an amalgamation of various like sights and sounds and of like nightmares essentially. So you might see clowns or mummies or zombies or all these sort of things are just like manifesting one after another. Yeah.
So after seeing this goblin get torn to bits, I'm about to use a new ability. I will cast Whispers of the Underrealm.
Okay.
Would you like me to? You open your soul to the call of the Underrealm. All of the sins committed by mortals weigh heavily on your shoulders. You release this grief onto your enemies, dealing 2d6 fire damage onto everyone involved, but 3 targets within 30 feet of you, regardless of line of sight.
Okay.
The affected creatures gain the burning condition for 1d4 turns.
Would you like to target Leo in this or just the nightmares?
Just the nightmare. Well,
Like, criminal.
sins were mentioned in here a couple of times.
What?
Are you a good gangster or a bad gangster?
You like
No.
pause your Naruto hand signal to like ask as you're about to.
What's
Like,
the
what did you
vibe
do?
check? What's the vibe check? What do you think?
Shoot first, ask questions later, baby. Now, I think just because of who Zora is, a little diplomacy goes a long way. So just the nightmares at this time, and that's gonna be 80. It's sorry, it's will or intelligence.
This one's going to be your will, and then it's going to be your focus.
Will and focus. So that's gonna be 92.
92. Okay, great. You're almost to chaos magic. So with a 92%, you do crit. So you're going to roll double damage. So if it was 2d6, now it's 46. So yeah.
14 damage.
14. Okay. Oof, that was at both of them. Okay. Let's see.
Oh no. Okay, so the cost for this is 1d10 lucidity.
Did
I rolled a
roll
9.
Oh, 9?
I rolled a
Okay.
9.
I mean, it was worth it though. You crit and it did a bunch of damage. So you watch as you're and you are a white witch. Is that right?
Yeah.
Perfect. So white witches are the shepherds of the like underrealm. So any sort of malicious spirits, demons, devils, and all that kind of stuff, you help to make sure that they go back to where they're supposed to go. And you pull upon that power and that knowledge of being exposed to so much, and you unleash it in fury and fire onto these two creatures as their flesh sort of melts and they scream out in horror and pain. And perfect. Anything else for you?
I start crying 2 tears. Just 2.
Perfect. And then after that, it's going to go to the baddies. So
What did they roll?
A 70. Let me see here. A 76. So one of them's gonna go up to. They look over and then see this white witch there that's like did all this damage, and they're gonna rush over to them and then just try to slam into them. God. Okay, so that's gonna be 100%. So that'll yeah. So that's gonna be double damage, which that is 1, 5, 5, 7, 7. So that's gonna be 12 points of physical damage to you, as one of them just slams into you as hard as possible, and they took burning, right? Is that what you said?
They're going to continue to take burning, or wait, sorry. The affected creatures gain the burning condition for 1d4 conditions, or 1d4 turns. I didn't roll that.
No, you're good.
But yes, they're burning for 3 turns.
Oof. Okay. So I did not do that damage, so let me go ahead and do that really quick. Okay, so that's 1 point of damage for this one, and then it's going to be 3 points of damage for that one. All right, cool. So the other one is going to turn to this like super chill, suave, awesome thug as they try to strike you. And oop, that is my d20. All right, great. So that is a 20% to your defense value.
My defense is 30%.
Okay, they do get a partial hit as they swing to try to hit you, and they will get 2 damage on you, physical damage. And as they do a glancing blow, and maybe you like step back in just the right moment, and it tears a little bit of your suit. And
Very tastefully, I think.
and then after that, so they two went. So after that, it's gonna go to Fumi.
So I climb out from under Zora's dress. Just kind of like look up over what's going on, and I'm just kind of like, oh shit. And I will sort of like somersault out of Zora's dress, somehow not catching on anything because I'm so tiny. And I am going to I'll take out my like sort of shadow daggers, and with my primary attack, I'm also going to do rigged fight for my highwayman subclass, and I'm going to do 2 attacks on the one not attacking Leo at the moment, because
Okay.
I kind of think about it, and then I'm just like, nope, and then I go over to the next one. So I'm going to make 2 attacks.
Sure. So if you're attacking the one that's right in front of Zora, you will get flanking, so you're gonna get 10% bonus to your attack accuracy. Yeah.
So that's agility and fight.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So math. That's like 93 and oh my god, 70, 84.
84. Okay. So their defense value is 30%. So the 80 will crit, and the 90, we're gonna say it's 94 because there's no odds when it comes to the accuracy. It's only even numbers, so it's probably like 94%. So that will activate your Valor table. So go ahead and first roll the damage for the normal one. So it'll be double damage dice for both attacks.
Okay.
And then
that's gonna be 6 for each. That's just daggers. If for the one that crit, it gains the bleeding damage, the bleeding condition for 4.
So bleeding
turns.
and burning. All right, cool. There we go.
Get fucked.
So,
Bleeding from a wound in the face, and the rest of the body's on fire. Oopsie.
Yep.
And then, can you remind me what I roll for Valor?
Yeah. You're gonna roll a d20.
D20. 12.
12. You strike with unexpected strength. Deal double damage dice at the cost of 1d6 exhaustion stress. So essentially,
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead and roll again for your damage dice.
4.
4 damage. Okay. go.
Then I get 1d6 exhaustion. I only get
Well,
2.
yeah, okay, there we go. And okay, cool. And then was that all your damage for everything?
Yes.
Perfect. So then after, or anything else you want to do?
I did my I did my primary and secondary. As far as what I can do for free, I didn't take any damage from that, so I don't. Most of my free stuff is just like quick negating, so I'm good. I
Okay.
stay where I'm at.
After that is going to Fen.
Fen, who is standing behind Zora, also kind of ducks as that first attack comes in, and there's this like low growl that comes out of their throat as they're like, "Don't touch my grandchild." And they just, I think they take the scepter because it's the thing that's in their hand that they've kind of forgotten that they're holding on to, and
Sure.
they just like, instead of using magic because they don't really know how it works, they kind of wobble it a minute, it doesn't really do anything, and then they just bring it down like a club on one of these things instead.
Perfect. Okay, good. So go ahead and if you're doing a melee attack, it's going to be your strength and then your fight.
Beautiful. Can I add criminal or sellsword?
We'll say sellsword. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I can't do math either. I believe that's an 86.
Oh yeah, you crit. So double damage dice. So for this weapon, because it's like magically enhanced, we're gonna say it's a 1d6. So go ahead and do 2d6 for this. Yeah.
Beautiful. 6, 2, 8 total. And I'm gonna use my secondary action to where Fumi had stabbed it. They're gonna like club the area right around it to get extra bleed damage going. So it is going to take also. Let me look. Deep cuts. Yes. It will also gain more bleeding damage for the next 2 turns. And that bleeding damage is doubled.
Doubled? Okay. Great. All right, and then perfect. Anything else for you?
I think after they like wail on this thing one time with the scepter, they are like, I don't know how to use this, Zora, and hand it like toward the spellcaster who actually knows how to use it. And I think at the same time as they swing around to look at Zora, they see this person, and they see all of this like spray paint, and it finally clicks, and they go, "Oh, fuck me," and that's it.
Perfect. And then after that is Leo.
I think Leo sees all of these people, these new people that weren't in town this whole time, show up and start to join the fray. And at first he thinks, oh, great, more people to deal with. But then he sees Fumi. And I think they like twirl their knife, sheath it, and instead they pull out from the other side, Sunder, their gun. And they walk over to where Fumi is, kind of step in front of her to the creature that she's fighting, and will just shoot it point blank melee.
Okay, perfect. So that is going to be your D10, and then your agility, and then fight. Or no, yeah, fight.
Okay, so that is a 56.
56. Okay. So 56 will hit. So go ahead and do your damage. And then let me see here.
That is going to be 9 points of damage.
And just to confirm, you were shooting the one in front of you, or the one in front of Zora, or is surrounded?
The one in front of Fumi.
One in front of Fumi. Okay, right. So that one is destroyed. And perfect. Even as it dies, it still bleeds and burns, as it's like heavily hindered. And then perfect. So in Emerald Templars, you do have the ability. So if you sacrifice your movement action, you can go ahead and take another turn if you'd like to for attacking, or move twice if you choose to sacrifice your turn or what have you. So would you like to attack again, or would you like to hold off?
I think I will attack again. I think Leo is just gonna sort of like spin on the spot, and then looking over to wherever like the other nearest creature is just going to like aim and then shoot that person or that creature again as
Sure.
well.
Same thing.
So that is going to be a 96.
Okay, so good. 96. So you're gonna do double damage dice. So I believe the Sunder is like 2d6, so that'd be 46.
It's 2d8.
Oh, 2d8,
yes.
so 48. Jesus. All right.
Damn.
I was like, I gotta
All
bump up
right.
these creatures because like they're really having it too easy, and then suddenly you just destroy them.
18 damage.
18.
Put a hole through this.
That's exactly what happens as a hole just like appears in its chest and it like dissipates. Both of them sort of dissipate. Go ahead, even though it doesn't really matter right now, go ahead and roll a d20 for the Valor table because you did like strike with such ferocity that something else happens.
6.
6. Okay, perfect. So, I don't think you have. We'll say that you're like probably a little bit stressed from the situation, but like the authority at which you like attacked your foe causes you to have like a little bit more confidence than usual. So you would heal anxiety if you had any, but you've been in the thick of it for a while now, so you're kind of, this is your normal essentially. And sure, with that, let me go ahead and I also recently did this, so I need to test this out really quickly. Let's go with these. Okay, cool. So that was an easy encounter, and then 10. Perfect. All right, cool. So with that, the fight sort of ends as these two nightmares have dissipated. At this time, you hear a giant horn bellow from like what you can clearly see is like a mountain that's rests outside of this settlement, and around you can see the cultists, the Sons of Midnight that you've dealt with, just recently, essentially, like literally, like probably like 10 minutes ago. As you can see them all retreating from fighting these other Iron Lions, and their nightmares begin to like sort of dissipate and disappear and everything. And they all sort of separate. And even though the Iron Lions, like some of them might have been winning their fights, they choose to also retreat. As you can see, clearly there are some wounded, there are some like people that are down and out and everything, and they're just kind of like taking this, sort of break to be able to separate from one another. You also find in this time that there are 20 monies that you find, one horchata, and then one basic jade that you see here. So
Hey.
and yeah, so
Ooh. Can I? So drinking horchata will that get me some of my physical stress reduced?
let me check really quick.
I'm looking for food.
So sweet drink made of cinnamon. No, it will not. It reduces the effects of poison or venom by 2 turns.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Oh, also, D'Angelo, the caps are down.
Yeah, I saw that. We'll probably
Yeah.
address that a little bit.
No worries.
Okay, cool. So you guys have successfully. Oh my God, is that C? Transplanter's Heartbreaker? So,
Stop it.
you guys have succeeded in this endeavor as you like things settle now. As Leo, you look over to find that at that moment you were surrounded by like 2 nightmares, and like you probably could have taken them on, but it would have been a lot harder than it was. That just had happened thanks to the witch and this like hunter and this sort of like thief and everything like that. And you look around to these people and clearly see their Emerald Templar like sigils and all that. So, how would you guys like to respond to one another as you see this?
I rip my fucking Emerald Templar sigil off and I just put it in my pocket.
Well, 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 if it isn't my favorite pet.
I start running away.
No, and I think Leo steps in front of Fumi and stops her from getting away.
Sure.
Wait, you're working for the Emerald Templars now, is that right?
And
That's what you left me for?
there were a couple more reasons than that, but if that's how you want to see it, then I suppose yes.
And I think Leo kind of looks around at all of the other people that are here with you. And that is, I think, when they recognize Fen as well.
Fen has, I think, literally pivoted, and their back is facing you, and they are pretending to like, they're hunched over with this like big shawl. They just are pretending you're not there.
Pup, you're choosing to travel with a traitor? Should have shot them when you saw them.
Should you have shot me then? Is that the case? Because I have no problem with being around traitors.
Why are we all talking about shooting each other and
Thank God, Zora.
relationships?
She just
And
goes over to you, Zora. Back up.
I'm leaning heavily on the scepter.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like
yeah.
not feeling great, but I'm like,
And for Leo's benefit, go ahead and have you guys like give your physical description of what your characters look like. We'll start with Zora.
So you see this. Actually, let me look at my description of myself. Just kidding. I did not put it on this new one. Um, so you see a 6 foot tall, very tall, slender kitsune with black and gold markings on her face. She's wearing long white robes with kind of like a green overcoat on top and long, shaggy black hair. And leaning on this scepter like an old person. Like it's a walking stick and just kind of glaring at you.
And then
And I think maybe I'll just take the old person card in the room here. The person who maybe looks like they should be leaning on a scepter most of the time is Fen, who is a very old looking Volgani person. They look like maybe they are 5'7" maybe, but they like kind of stoop so much at this point that they're more like 5'5", and they look really old. Like all of the fur around their ears and around their muzzle, their tail has all kind of gone this old silver, and it's almost like grizzled, and they almost seem to be in a perpetual state of mid-transformation, where there's like they almost have like a beard around their face just based on like the transformation, and hair that grows out over their knuckles and on the tops of their hands, and these ears that are ragged and completely torn up. And they, I think, turn to look at Leo with a bitter expression of being called a traitor, first and foremost. And they snap their jaw a little bit, revealing just these like old, kind of like broken, chipped teeth. Bold words for someone who was in a lot of trouble just a minute ago.
And Fumi, who is at all times this not only greasy but also like smoky kind of looking atmosphere around them, almost as if they're ready to like melt into a puddle at all times, like their clothes and their cloak, just as much as she's about to like blow away in the wind like a sort of smoke cloud. Her hair sort of changing in states of matter, as similarly to Fen, almost always in some sort of stage of transformation, ears and claws out and markings on the face, black and gold. Although she is maybe at a average height at all times, like maybe her 5'5", she can be 6'4", she can be much shorter, but this time it's almost as if she can't help but be just under 5 foot, as she like is backing towards Zora, even as she's attempting to like talk to Leo in a very straight, like solid tone, and she's just like standing very like tightly close next to Zora, like this is like my rock right now, and just like really is trying to like keep herself standing strong, but is obviously having a hard time with that.
Oh, come now, Fumi. You know that you were never truly part of the Iron Lines. You were free to leave whenever you wanted, but you. And Leo looks over at Fen. I don't think you have the same luxury. I should kill you where you stand.
I'd like to see you try. Young
I
one,
may-
I was an Iron Lion longer than you've been alive, I would imagine. Don't disrespect your elders.
Zora, if you don't mind, Zora.
It says here, me making shit up, in the bylaws of the Emerald Templars, any attack against the Emerald Templars will result in swift reaction. So please, let's just keep this meeting to like old friends being reintroduced in a setting where we're all keeping each other alive and helping everyone out, right?
And you do know that for the Iron Lions, there is a rule where if any of them like flee and join the Emerald Templars, it's sanctuary for them until they leave the Emerald Templars. Like the second they sign the contract to leave or go AWOL or anything like that, they're free game. And if you do bring back the head of the traitor, or at least their insignia to show that you've caught them, it's a big bonus points for any active Iron Lions. Yeah, so.
Well, you're lucky that the laws prevent me from doing anything about it. Leo, by the way. And she holds out a hand to Zora.
Nice to meet you. I'm Zora.
Nice to meet you, too. How is it that all of you are here?
Well, we kind of got sucked into. How are you here? Actually, that is a better question, I think. Don't worry about us. What did you do?
Asking a lot of questions and not providing a lot of answers. Some might think that you're not supposed to be here.
I'll say, I don't think we are supposed to be here. We went to a carnival and then woke up here. The Pink Witch is keeping us. Or wait, no, I'm lying. Haha. Where are we?
No, you're good. You're good. So you guys are still in this dream realm, imprisoned as the dream or the Pink Witch has like taken you all and kept you here. Your bodies are somewhere in the middle realm, the mortal realm, just lying dormant. Hopefully not in a puddle. As
Pissing
you guys.
ourselves.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, you're correct. You are in this dream realm. You guys all can see the sky as it's no longer the bright and shiny. It's kind of like changing over very quickly to nighttime. As Leo, you know that nighttime seems to be sanctuary, where these Sons of Midnight attack in the day and retreat in the night for whatever reason. Yeah.
Ironic that they're called the Sons of Midnight. I think Leo just kind of like looks around at the darkening sky, says, "We should be safe for now anyway. I got trapped here with my crew, what, 4 months ago, I think?
That's
4
right,
months?
boss. As you see your goblin companion come by, second in command, Steve. He's like, we only lost
Yes,
2
Steve.
soldiers, boss. Yeah.
Oh, thank God. We've been losing soldiers left and right. We have 18 Iron Lines left, and we came here with 50. Yes, it's been 4 months, Pup.
Months?
How have you not been able to escape yet?
There doesn't seem to be a way out this odd realm. At least not one that we've been able to figure out. We don't exactly have, unfortunately, magical adepts in our ranks to turn to. But you seem particularly skilled, Zora.
It's a lifelong practice. And okay, so that still doesn't answer the question of how you came to be here. After 4 months, you haven't been able to.
Stumbled upon the settlement. Really nothing else that I can say about it. Honestly, we thought we were coming into town. Turns out we were transported somewhere else.
Well, we know who's responsible. We just haven't been able to find her.
Yes, who are you looking for?
The Pink Witch? You know, people, the cultists, and the whole dealy with the feasts and sacrifices. And
You at
Porky?
least have heard of the Pink Witch as these statues that are all around the settlement before they were graffitied by you guys were praised by this cult, the Sons of Midnight. That's all they worshipped and everything. And you kind of defile these statues in like, you know, rebellion against this sort of thing. So you at least know of the Pink Witch. You don't know what she's about, what she offers, what she does, or anything like that. Yeah.
Haven't seen her, but we left our offerings to her as well. Thanks for trapping us here.
Yeah, I think the offerings and the food and the... Yeah. Oh, I see. Offerings. Ha ha ha. Yeah. The only way to get out of here is to end her. Can we expect your assistance in that? Do you even want to go home?
Yes, Pop. You seem like you have something to say.
I'm sure both of our groups individually will be just fine attempting to get out. I don't think we need any more Iron Lions, Emerald Templars.
Boomy,
Oh, you used
really
to
weren't
love
going to
working with us.
What
Fumi,
did you say, Grandma?
Nothing. You want nothing. Just wondering when you were going to introduce us. Just all of these friends you seem to keep.
I
interesting.
I don't have any friends. I don't know what any of you really think that
Fumi,
I'm
you're
doing.
gonna take 4 points of anxiety for this awkward situation.
I'm at half. I'm at half anxiety.
Really pushing Fumi over the edge here.
I'm so sorry.
You're like, we're in
on
this
player
dream
violence.
realm. There was an old god. Like now I'm seeing like.
My agility increases by 10%.
Fen, I think, looks Leo up and down for a moment, kind of crosses her arms stiffly. One of her shoulders pops loudly and she winces a little. Now, back when I was young, the Iron Lions were worth their weight in salt. You've been stuck here for what, 4 months? What makes us think that you actually could help us if we wanted it in the first place?
Well, I mean, you're stuck here same as us. You clearly haven't escaped either. What harm could it do to
To be
accept
fair,
our
it's been
help
2 days.
for now? I'm simply saying that with all of our resources, with all due respect, Grandma, with all our resources, we haven't been able to escape for 4 months, and you have what, the 3 of you? You'd be stuck here longer.
Sorry, you also see a risen sorcerer, but we're gonna say he has summoning sickness, so he's just like vomiting in the corner and feeling very.
With the 4
We also
of
have
you.
him.
Vomiting in the background. He doesn't look like he'll be of much use to you either.
If you all can manage to get along briefly, we could maybe all get out of here and then we can have a pissing contest about whose skills are the best to escape.
What do you
Right?
say, Fumi?
Can we have like an Emerald Templars little group huddle in very far away in this direction very quickly before we make any decisions?
Love to.
My knees are not going anywhere very fast. And Fen moves approximately 5 feet over.
So
Okay, fine.
like
Can I overhear this conversation?
Probably.
No,
If-
I turn and shoo you away as I'm like,
get out of here, go get. So 3 things. Really quickly, we had a couple donations. So number 1,
shit.
there is a plus. No, we didn't get it all, guys. So there's a 10% bonus to any roll. So that's like in a pool. So if anyone needs it, they can pull it out and then use it. And the other one is a re-roll. So you have those 2 things in the pool if anyone sort of needs it, and all that. And just put the other options there just in case anyone else wants to support. Feel free to do so. And then the other thing is that you see your goblin assistant Steve comes over and he goes like, the chorizo burritos are ready, boss. They're really good. As they like, they go, we got some for your friends. As he throws over some like tinfoil wrapped burritos for you guys if you choose to consume any. Yeah, they smell
Thanks,
great.
Steve.
This
Steve is the best cook we've got.
this is made from real food, not dream food, right?
It's like, well, it's dream food essentially, but it's the best we got, so it'll make you feel better.
I drop it.
I
Okay.
eat it. I
Perfect.
take it.
You are going to regain 7 physical stress, and then you're also going to regain 5 anxiety.
I haven't eaten since yesterday. Is there anything happening to me, by the way?
Oh yeah, there's going to be exhaustion costs.
Okay, great.
You're going to take 3 points of exhaustion for like
All right.
getting hungrier and hungrier, essentially. And then Fen, if you would like to consume it as well, it'll be 7 physical healing, and then 5 anxiety healing.
As I'm wolfing down this burrito, Fumi, we're never gonna get out of here if we don't eat more food. It's gonna be fine. Just kind of like choking, but also
As Steve hands you like green and red salsa, it's like
fucking starving because this will
Yeah.
also be the first time eating. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah.
All right. But I'm like looking at Fen like, should I explain first, or do you want to explain first? I would much rather you do, but
I'm not explaining anything to you
why?
because this and I'm not Fumi, you're Fumi. I'm Fen. Fen pulls down this kind of like thick woolen tattered cloak that they wear, and they also reveal on their own chest what, like, underneath the fur and the freckles and the wrinkles of their chest is also a tattoo of an iron lion. It almost, like, the ink is so faded that it actually just looks like a scar at this point. Like, it's so faded and so light that it like is almost like a scar of a lion like coming down their chest, and on the other side is a wolf coming up on the other side, like the wolf is pouncing down on the lion. And that ink looks a lot fresher, because this is nothing to be proud of, Fumi. And if you
really,
don't know that by now, go ahead.
really quick. So on Fen's Iron Lion tattoo, there are various markings that aren't normal that you can see that are usually for foot soldier or anything. They must have been a high ranking person in the Iron Lions, so meaning that they've done a lot of terrible things in their time with the Iron Lions to earn those marks. So they're a fucking gangster in every sense of the word. So
I knew it. I knew it. Ah!
So is the implication that you're supposed to be dead or something?
The implication is that I left someone very important to the Iron Lions for dead, and it's been causing me problems for the last 72 years.
That's
72.
That's less embarrassing than my thing.
What would you like to share your thing then?
So it is fairly evident that I became an Emerald Templar because I didn't want to go back to jail. And I have spent most of my merry little life not getting caught, but once you do, it sucks. But before all of that, I had a hard time staying committed to one organization or another, so I spent a good amount of my time contracting and where, the Iron Lions and contract work and being a little fucking criminal. It aligned fairly well, and Fumi very vaguely gestures to Leo, just kind of like, we fucked.
Oh, is that all? Well, everybody does it.
A couple times to potentially indicate some form of a relationship, but
Yeah, we all got that. It was pretty evident from the first minute of.
And sometimes you can surprise yourself and you leave. You just leave very soon, very quickly, so fast. Don't even look back.
You abandoned them.
I'm not a good person. Everyone. I'm not sure if you understood that.
I boop you on the nose. Okay. Well,
Boomy, listen. If you don't want to end up like me on the run from a criminal syndicate for 72
I would
years,
love to do that. I would love to do that more than what is happening right now.
Listen, I have a lot of regrets in my life because I had constantly running away. Take it from your grandmother. This is an opportunity.
No.
Okay. To make things right.
No.
Boomy cares not.
And Leo, you just look over and then see like anxiety tail wags and like
yeah.
So kind of like raised voices. Some of them are chomping on like burritos and like all that kind of stuff. So anyways,
I'm just talking to Steve. You know,
Yeah.
we're just chilling.
like, so you guys got history? As like he just like, pours.
Steve, not now.
He's like, we could die tomorrow, may as well. As like, just like
Steve rocks. Steve's cool.
Well, you see, Steve. Leo just gets
goes
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
sometimes
Story
as you like
of
lean on the wall.
Do we have to do we to stay with them or I will sleep outside.
I know. We stay until you make it up. All right.
What?
We'll do that.
I would truly, grandmother, I'd like, this is perhaps the most emotional sentiment I will ever come across to you. I would rather you fucking kill me.
That can be arranged.
Great.
Hey, no one fighting.
I have 14 daggers that you can choose. I just sort of like open my cloak and there's just like a collection of daggers. You can use all of them
Stop it.
and I will die.
You can survive this. You can survive. All we have to do is get along for long enough to get them out of our hair. It's fine. It's
For
going to
4
be fine.
months?
It's not like you have
for
to fuck them
potentially 4
again.
months? What?
You heard me. It's collaboration. It's going to be okay.
I need to be promised something from the both of you then.
Always a fight with this one. What do you want?
If we get out of here, if there are no deaths and there are the two of you, Don Francisco, he can just kind of relax for this one. Then I want to lead the next Emerald Templars mission settlement that we go on.
I turned to Fed and looked directly into their eyes. I'm just like,
If you're gonna make me do something that I fundamentally cannot do, get along with someone, then
parentheses.
I get to do something that I would like to do.
I didn't
It's
know your
only
commitment
fair.
to the Emerald Templars had grown so strong so quickly that you'd want to lead a mission.
Now it is.
Or that you're not doing this to implement chaos.
Do you promise?
Promise.
Deal.
And I like kind of like turn.
Were you hoping we'd say no?
You like spit in your hands and like shake everyone. Like,
Yeah, right.
Greasiest spit I've ever had in my hand.
Yeah.
Great.
Apologies. There's like a little bit of rice chewed up in it. It's fine.
So, the hour grows like late essentially. Well, I guess it's like early. If you wanted to, as your like lore master, aka game master, you could use this opportunity to rest and like be able to recover from like the everything you went through thus far from getting to the dream realm. To yeah, if you'd like to.
I would love to rest.
Yeah.
Sure. So you see Leo as they break away from their group and they're ready to exchange words as you give Steve the whole thing. He's like, me and my husband went to couples therapy and it worked wonders. That's probably something that you should consider doing.
Yeah, I'm not seeing some sort of quack. That's not that's not my.
He's like, all right, just think about it. It helps a lot. He's like, I'll let you get back to it.
Thanks, Steve. I'll think about it. Not gonna think about it. Are you done having your little chit chat over there?
Fumi?
Yes, we are. We would be happy to collaborate until we can find the Pink Witch and let all of us go free.
Perfect. Although, I think that some of us may be leaving a little bit differently after this is all done, but that's neither here nor there. And I think Leo kind of like looks down at Fumi and like winks at her as they say that.
Is your intention to give them anxiety or to because if you roll high enough you can do so.
Where's the flirt mechanic?
Yeah.
The flirt mechanic.
That'll
Flirt
be
mechanic.
influence and charm. So go ahead if you would like to do so.
I mean, I'm gonna let Fumi react however she wants to that. I don't need to roll for it.
Sure, go for it.
It's
Your
autonomy
rotation.
is in your hands, Joe.
I think Fumi is just sort of like bristles a little bit, and the little, rather than like the little like anime like shirt like coming up kind of thing, it's almost like little particles of oil coming up in like water, and she's just like, we'll play nice, and that's all I have to fucking say tonight.
Okay. All right, well, you can follow me. We've got a settlement. It's basically ours now. We have places to rest. We can give you all a place to stay for now and figure out what we're going to do later.
Thank the old gods, my knees are killing me.
So, you all rest. You're going to regain 2d6 physical health, and as well as 2d6 to anger, anxiety, lucidity, pretty much across the board. Yeah, and you can just roll once and then use that for everything if you'd like to. Yeah.
It's like nothing
Poggers.
happened.
You're like, I'm cool. Yeah, that was fine. That was another Wednesday night
Math.
or Wednesday. And I'll give you this moment to do that, and then I'll explain essentially what Steve tells you, Leo, in this time as everyone's tending to, as you're doing your like bossly duties, essentially. So while everyone is like, they're resting, and you can hear snoring from the camp from whoever that might be, whether it be Don Francisco or anyone else. Yeah, Fan. And so Steve comes over to you. He's like, well, I mean, some of the boys got like injured and like, but they're gonna be okay. We would just patch up their wounds, but we can't last for much longer. As he like has a little like folder out and then like flips through the pages. He goes, our resources are dwindling. We can't really hold out for much longer. Something's got to change. Either we leave or anything, but we can't hold out this long. As every single day they come down from that mountain with new nightmares and come and just try to ravage you guys. And although these cultists aren't really skilled in the ways of fighting, those nightmares can do a number on you guys. And you only have so many warp batteries for your gun and all that. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I know, Steve. But now we have the Emerald Templars here to help us, and I think we can make some sort of arrangement and get all of us out of here. Whether or not they get out, it's none of my business, but at least the rest of us, the ones that have survived, we'll get out. Don't worry.
He's like, "You got it, boss. We believe in you." As everyone's like, "Yeah!" As they are in their medical wing and like are just recovering. So it's probably, we're gonna say, maybe 4 hours of rest, as you kind of had during training, to like, you know, that way you don't take a full 8 hours. You have just 4 hours of rest, and you get up and you're ready to do what you need to do. As it's still nighttime, it's still sanctuary, as they are not like attacking you from the mountains. As you kind of peer out of the windows, you can see that there are like blooms of sort of pink light that shoots up into the sky and then dies out in color a little bit, and then goes again and dies out. Now, Leo and the rest of the Iron Lions here, that's common to you guys. You've seen it every single night like clockwork. But for the rest of you, specifically Zora, you definitely recognize this as magic. Something's going on up there, specifically probably prayers, like religious type of worship or something, yeah. But sure enough, you've rested a little bit, and now you're good to go. Actually, we'll take this time to go ahead and take a break, a 10-minute break, really quick. So we'll be back very, very soon. Thank you so much for your support, and we'll be back very soon. Going back, they can now see us and they can hear everyone. Hey everyone, how's it going? Thank you so much for being here and bearing with us for our brief break. We're gonna go ahead and get right back to it. So last we left off, our heroes had teleported into the settlement, and they saw, like, to their horror, pink witch statues. You know, must have been like the settlement was ran by cultists, but suddenly they see there's also graffiti of lions, and they see that there are Iron Lion members left, right, and center just completely attacking these nightmares and the cultists. And they chose to be allies of convenience as they teamed up and were able to take down some nightmares and met Leo, who is the leader of this like ragtag band of Iron Lions who are still surviving after 4 months of being sieged essentially daily from these cultists. And the Emerald Templars got to rest a little bit, recover their wounds, and they've kind of woken up to see that there are flashing lights coming from the northern mountain, where you saw the cultists kind of like retreat upwards into. And yeah, you walk out to see everyone eating burritos and drinking horchata. And yeah.
Oh,
Good morning, everybody. How was your rest?
Your beds are horribly uncomfortable.
Well, I'm sorry, it's not a luxury hotel. Better than sleeping on the ground.
I'm like emerging from sleeping on the ground. I'm fine.
we appreciate
Right.
it, Faith. Thank you so much. And I look at
I'm
both
glad-
of them.
I'm glad somebody has manners. Well, alright, so. You see that? And Leo kind of gestures over to the flashing lights off in the distance. That is where the Sons of Midnight have been hiding out. And, well, we didn't have enough people to be able to attack them, not after all of our losses. Maybe we could have in the beginning, but we don't have enough people now. But with all of you here and all of your power, I think we could take them. We could take down their high priest.
Luckily, they're all a bunch of pussies, so it should be fine.
Eloquent as always, Fumi.
Mm.
Are you still good at sneaking around?
Do you just
I
stop?
used to do a lot of that.
Do you just stop being? Do I just? Yes, of course.
Okay, well, for once that will actually come in handy, because I think that if we go quietly, they won't know we're coming. It'll be quick, be in and out.
Well, I did some pondering on this scepter before bed, and I think, oh, there's some special magic within it. It seems like transportation magic, but I can't be sure.
Oh, thank the old gods. There's no way I was walking up that hill and being any good once we got to the top of it.
Well, don't be so thankful yet. We do have to try and make sure that it works. Could be something else entirely.
We're not all gonna go on stealth. We're not all the same group. Same.
Fenn's knees pop.
I basically sprained my ankle walking from the bedroom. So I don't think I'm making it up that hill. Besides, I think it would be good for the two of you to have some alone time.
Are you sure that you should be a Emerald Templar, Grandma? It seems a little bit dangerous for you.
Ah, eager to put me out of my misery, are you, Leo? I'm not done quite yet.
I would love if someone would do that right now to me. Honestly, if anyone's gonna do that.
Well, then you won't get to lead the next mission.
So it's settled then.
Fine in their place.
A two-pronged approach. And if you two leave us hanging, I will personally see to it that I beat the shit out of both of you. Understand?
I'm like,
You can certainly try.
in my hands, thinking to myself, shit, we might be the ones that don't make it up there. Well, if you two would like to go along, go ahead. It'll take you much longer than it will take me to set this up.
Do you have everything you need for me?
I have everything I ever need.
Now that I'm here, of course. Come on.
Oh.
I look at Fen and Zora, oh my god, Fen and Zora as I'm like walking, like, you know, following along. I'm just like mouthing, "Kill me, kill me."
Being dragged is like
Yeah, right.
Okay, so for Zora and Fen, what you're gonna have to do is I guess more Zora. You're going to have to do an intelligence or will and focus check. If you have any cultists, you can also add that as well to it, as you were essentially performing a sort of ritual of like transportation, as you've seen some of what the other priest had sort of done for the Sons of Midnight that you previously encountered, and you kind of recognize and use context clues to be like, oh, this is what they're trying to attempt and all that. And yeah.
So as the rest of the camp presumably is packing up to head up as well.
Yeah, as Steve is like, all right, everyone, the boss gave us new orders, as they're all like getting ready to like head out. And you also see this like fairly old human like humble over to you guys, and then he's like, hey everyone, are you the people going up to teleport?
Oh, yeah, will you be joining us?
He's like, I am. My name's Father Narek, and I've been a hardcore gangster for years. As he like holds up his like shirt and it says like Iron Lions in Old English, and he's like, I'm here to help you guys.
The old Iron Lions.
Exactly. And it's very
That was before the brand change happened, and we like changed what the tattoo looked like. Yeah.
And he's like,
Belly rockers.
Exactly. And he's like, I'm down to help you guys. I'm, blood in, blood out. As he, takes his bandana and then ties it around his head, and then is just ready to roll. It's
All right then. Just stand in this circle here, I suppose. And
Fen leans over to Zora and goes, cannon fodder.
I pat the old man on the shoulder
as you do so, he like pulls out from his wallet like, these are my grandchildren. As he goes, I hope to see him again one day. As he like shows you stuff. And then,
we're gonna get you back there, I promise. But first, up the mountain, through the tent, through the baddies.
Sure. So go ahead and roll your check, and you can have it set up and then fire it off whenever you'd like to or ready for it. But the moment you activate it, you're in the tents. So you kind of have to plan it for when the group is ready to also attack. Otherwise, you'll be surrounded by enemies.
So I rolled a 96.
Oh, you're good. You're totally fine. Actually, Chaos Magic also activates, but we'll address that
When I
when you
activate
pop
the
it.
spell?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, can't wait.
So-
Can't wait.
In the meantime, with the other group, everyone gets their gear. They all, say their prayers to their deity of luck and all that kind of stuff, and then they take your lead. And are you guys leading in the front, or are you letting everyone else go before you?
I'm going in the front.
Yeah, I think we're going from the front, and like we're probably walking like a little bit ways away from the group. Even like there's like some distance between Fumi and Leo and then the rest of the group. And I think like as we're walking up to this hill, up this mountain, towards this tent, presumably, Leo just kind of like like clears his throat and like looks down over at Fumi. So, you, like working with the Emerald Templars?
Are we going to have... Is this going to be small talk all the way through?
Are they kind to you? Are they good to you?
It doesn't matter if they are. I'm staying out of jail.
There are other ways to stay out of jail, you know, Fumi.
The thing that catches you first is what keeps you, I suppose.
That's fine. I just thought that maybe you had reason to stay with the Iron Lines.
With the Iron Lines? Only?
With the Iron Lines.
Frankly, I didn't need to be distracted.
Really? What would distract you, Pup?
All of the occult riches that I could be stealing. Things that have otherworldly significance that I could be rubbing my dirty, greasy paws on. What do you want me to say?
You know better than anyone that you could have had everything you wanted, and then some, if you stayed.
I don't want anything. I just want to run around and do whatever I feel like doing. And if there is even one layer of walling, then I don't want to be around anymore. And I feel like that was fairly clear ever since
Yeah, you made that. Yeah, you made that pretty clear. And I think Leo just kind of, like, as they're walking, is like looking very intently at Fumi, like not tearing her gaze away. Like searching for something, I think, in Fumi's face. Anything.
And Fumi's like eyes are like darting back and forth, like not wanting to maintain eye contact with you, but it's also hard at the same time to not. Are we good to keep going?
Yeah. Yeah. It's not long now, anyway.
So you were gonna do a agility and nimble check to see how stealthy you're able to get through here. If you have criminal, then you can add that bonus to it. Yeah.
But the both of us are rolling, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
I got an 80.
80. You're solid. You're well trained in this. No problem at all. You look to your 18 strong, or I guess 17 because Father Narek has volunteered to help out the other team, but like they're doing good. Yeah, they're keeping quiet.
88.
88. Yep. You guys are both doing really well. as you make your way, just as planned, up through the darkness and the through the terrain and everything. You begin to hear the humming and the sort of ritual as you sort of peek over the sort of little rock formations, and you can see that the cultists here are all gathering in sort of a ritual circle that are kind of like casting, and there's one like higher member of like the group that is like sacrificing different members of the cult, and they're turning into these nightmares as they're like just preparing. So it seems like there is like this sacrifice, and then they turn into this beast and monster. The main one seems to actually be the high priest, which is Mizlith, who has been like the bane of your existence for these 4 months, as she takes out her scythe and is the one to transform their dead bodies into these nightmare creatures, and goes like, the pink witch guides our hand, she will provide us everything, and she demands the blood of these like naysayers that are down there. So tomorrow will be our final assault, as we will gather our greatest strength ever and be able to launch it upon them, as they're like praise the pink witch, and then as they all like say that in unison. So we're going to say that you guys established that maybe one of your units will have a torch and just wave it, so that way the group below will know it's time to sort of strike. So
reflecting off of the burrito foil.
Exactly.
I'm like, oh, there it is.
Exactly. And it's really just someone like that is hungry and like eating the burrito.
Yeah,
like,
right.
No. So perfect. So it's up to you guys whenever you'd like to strike. Yeah.
Now?
Sure. So you see Steve be like, all right, guys, let's do this, as they all like fist bump, and then they just wave the signal, and you guys see it down there. As Father Nark is like, oh my god, I recognize you, you're Fen. Like, you took my hand when I tried to fail a mission, actually. As he waves his like nub for a hand. He uses now like an arm blade that's like attached to his forearm, and he goes like, I have so much respect
I shove
for you.
him out of the circle.
Can you sign my arm blade, please? Like, I would just know that your blessing would be like everything to me. As now he is probably like maybe 75 years old or so, and you have like lived many more years than him. So he's just like so psyched to see you, and it's like
Truly
so
blood in, blood out. He's like, I'm ready to die here, but also.
Yeah. And he pulls out a
Oh my
fantasy
god.
Sharpie.
I think as this teleportation spell is about to go off, Fen shoves him out of the circle so he does not come up with us.
Okay, so we'll have you do a check for this. So go ahead and do your strength and hench to just like shove him out of the way. And but he seems so stoked to like die for the cause and help you guys out.
26.
26.
I think I accidentally pull him in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you feel his like, even though he's his skin is sagging a little bit from age, he's still like swole, like Master Roshi when he like superpowers like up essentially, and he goes like, oh yeah, we got this, as he like touches your hand. He's like, let's do this, as the teleportation goes, and it like begins to illuminate and then powers, and you guys pop. So let me go ahead and see really quick. Go ahead, Zora, and roll your D100 essentially.
Another.
For
I am
Cat.
rolling high today. 69.
69.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
So that is going to be great. So you start this off with a bang, literally. So your spell causes the target to explode in brilliant light. All creatures caught within its blast radius take 1d6 damage. So we're going to say your target is this ritual casting spell. So you pop into existence, and from the three of your bodies explode this brilliant light. As you, for a moment, see that you're in this tent with Mizlith, as she's like, we're going to say a sort of older kitsune. She has various dreadlocks that are, some are gray, some are like, black and everything, and she goes like, this tonight's the final night, we're gonna like be together, brothers and sisters, and we're gonna destroy that this like iron lions forever. And then suddenly it just, you see you guys come into existence, and they're like, what is this? As all of a sudden it's like, and then it explodes, as the rest of you outside can see this brilliant light explode from the actual main tent. So they're all gonna take
It's a really big burrito foil.
exactly, yeah. So these three. So it's Mizlith, this priest, as well as their 2 honor guard. And
as this happens, me having never used this spell before or used this instrument before, I'm kind of like looking at it like, oh shit.
Did you do that? Is the sparkles necessary? Zora, good touch, but necessary.
Cover your eyes next time. I think I'm still getting the hang of this thing. And I kind of like pat the side of it.
we'll add the dark fantasy to it, and we'll say that you guys have stargated someone as like you you do the teleportation spell, and the honor guard's like, for the glory for the pink, and then just like half their body's gone as you like teleported into them. And then so
Lynched.
with that, you guys are gonna roll initiative.
Let's go.
You just ended a man.
Yeah.
Whole career.
Mama just killed a man. It's my favorite thing to do.
That is agility and nimble, correct?
That is correct. Yep.
94.
Nice. Okay.
66.
66. Okay. And
82.
82. And then Zora?
76.
76. Strong
Hell
rolls
yeah.
all around.
I don't suck this time.
38 for the bad guys. All right, cool. Oh, and then Father Narek.
Oh shit.
That is an 8. All right. So, with that, it is going to go to... Oh, and then we're going to do the... There we go. All right. So, what it's going to be like is that for Zora and Fen, you're going to be fighting 3 individual people with 3 individual health bars, essentially. And then for the rest of you, you're going to be fighting a mob, a horde, as you're just in the thick of it. That's going to have 1 health bar and just represent, like, you doing damage to this, like, overall mob and everything. So, with that, we're going to go ahead and start with Leo. So, Leo, you guys... just saw the light explode from the high priest's tent, and everyone is stopping what they're doing to look over to it, and the nightmares are kind of freaking out because the high priest is the one that's controlling them and stopping them from going feral. For just a brief moment, you see these nightmares begin to try to lash out at, like, the followers, but then it gets back in sort of control, and the closest one to you is probably like 30 feet away. Yeah.
All right. I think seeing that like great flash of light, Leo recognizes that probably Fed and Zora have made it inside. And so he kind of looks to Fumi and says, all right, just like old times. And he pulls out Sunder, their gun, and they kind of fire it into this mob twice. Because I have an ability that lets me do that. That gives me 2 attacks. So I think they're just gonna, like quick fire into this mob. And that is going to be... one of them is over 100. The other one is 16. The duality.
The duality of them dice.
Yeah, the 16 is not going to hit. You need a 30. You need 30% or higher, and the other one will absolutely hit. So that'll be double damage dice, and then after that, we'll do damage first, and then we'll do the valor table.
Right. That's 18 points of damage, and I'm gonna roll a d6 for my exhaustion cost for that ability. I rolled a 6, unfortunately.
And then. After that, you're going to go ahead and roll a d20.
5.
Perfect. Okay, good. God. All right, so with the Valor table, in this situation, you see them all reach for their weapons and go into a certain fighting formation that you absolutely recognize and know. And you've been training yourself to counter it for a while now. So you recognize the fighting style of your enemy. Increase your defense value by 10% for 4 turns. So for the next 4 turns, you have an increase of... So 30% goes to 40% for the next 4 turns. All right, and then anything else for you?
I think otherwise, I am going to try and move like around this mob, trying to get closer to the tent because I think Leo's trying to give reinforcements inside.
Sure.
But without needing to like cut through the mob necessarily.
Okay. The moment your gun fires, everyone rushes into action, essentially. So everyone's distracted and not completely focused on you. So after that, it's going to go ahead and go to our 82, which is Fumi.
Alrighty. It's my many papers.
Duffel.
Okay, so I'm gonna go basically in the direction of I'm trying to not be standing side by side with Leo. So whatever is sort of like the next, like the left side or whatever side I am from Leo, I'm gonna go for whoever I see directly in front of me within the mob.
Sure.
I'm gonna do something. We are going to go with our secondary thing super quick, secondary technique, and I'm gonna turn on my hysteria.
Okay.
So her eyes turn red, and like there's some parts of her that begin to flicker with the smoke and animalism that she has. She's gonna gain 2d4 anger stress, plus 5% accuracy, 1d8 additional damage, and then plus 2 defense bonus for the next 3 turns. And she's gonna attack twice with not with rigged fight. She's gonna attack once, and then with dirty trick, if my attack is successful, I'm going to attempt to stun this mobster in front of me.
It's a lot of emotions, feeling like those are cool things. Like I wrote those things, that's awesome. It'd be like, oh shit, there goes my monsters, and then like,
yeah.
Listen, part of playtesting is figuring out,
Yeah, exactly.
like, is this too much or is this okay, or is this like, yeah?
Okay, so that was
add more monsters.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh no.
that was sorry. My attack is agility plus fight.
That is correct. Yep.
Okay, so that's 50 to hit.
Okay, you do hit.
Okay, great. And then successful attack, target becomes stunned for 1 turn. That is with dirty trick. Oh, and then with my dagger plus my hysteria damage, that's gonna be to this poor piece of shit 9 points of damage.
Rest in peace.
And then I have to roll for I'll roll for my anger over here. But that is my turn.
That works. And then after you, it's going to go ahead and go to our 76, which is Zora.
That's me. So I added another feature that I'm trying to find with my XP, but this document is being a jerk to me. But Fumi, you have throw hands. What does it add?
It steps
Ben
up
has
your
throw hands, I think.
Yeah, it steps up your unarmed strike by like from a 1d4 to a 1d6 essentially.
Ah, okay. Don't need that then. This time. So I'm going to use the scepter as a. Actually, so I toss the scepter over to Fen, like pretty heavy, could throw sparks. Be careful. And then I am going to.
And
shapeshift. Sorry, that I literally couldn't find the word.
No, you're good. You're fine. Yeah. And in front of you, you do see that there is the high priest or priestess who does look like she's powerful, but not physically. She's more slender than the rest of them, but her honor guards are a bit thicker and seem more melee focused than her. Yeah.
And I'm just gonna go to attack her. I pounce on her with my form.
Sure.
Clawing the face.
So throw hands will affect you in your kitsune or fox form and all that, so that'll be good. So go ahead and roll.
And yeah, and what do I add to the
So that will be your strength and fight.
No, for my throw hands bonus. because it's 1d6 with fox form already.
Oh, then if it's already 1d6 with fox form, then it'll jump to a 1d8.
That's what I want. Okay, so that's going to be a 92.
All right. So double damage, so 2d8.
Yes.
And are you attacking one of the honor guards, or are you attacking the high priestess herself?
I'm attacking the high priestess because
Okay.
I'm like, I'm done with magic after that big explosion. Let's see what happens if I try to bite her face off. Take a little break. That's gonna be 12 damage.
12 damage, okay.
And a crit causes bleeding for 1d4 turns also.
Okay.
So 3 turns. She will be bleeding.
Oof. Okay. And then after that, or anything else for you?
Just for game mechanics, so a secondary action would be
I think that was your shape shifting.
yeah, and then my
yeah.
primary action was attack. Cool.
Great.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Okay. So then after that, it's going to go ahead and go 76 to 66, which will be Fen.
I'm drooling on her face also.
Oh, perfect,
maliciously.
yeah. She gets anxiety. She's like,
Malicious drooling. Fen catches this scepter, and they're like, I don't know how to do, but like before the words are even out of their mouth, Zora is like attacking this person, and they're like, fine. So they're gonna like use the scepter to get the honor guard's attention, so that they draw away from the priest. That's what they're gonna try to do with the scepter. But they're actually gonna back up a little bit, kind of to the edge of the tent, and try to like draw the honor guard toward them. And once they get a little bit closer, Fen's form kind of like they roll their shoulder and it pops the way it normally does, and then it pops again and again and again as their bones start to grow and their claws sharpen longer and longer, and the fur like sprouts into like a beard that's actually, no, that's a mane of fur. Their face elongates, all of these bones just like cracking and popping back into place as this gray-furred, silver-muzzled wolf, Volgani form, fully feral, roars as loud as they can, and they are also going to try to bite one of their faces off real fast.
Okay, so Zora, you're getting 1 point of anxiety as you watching a Volgani go into their rage form causes like, whoa, that's kind of like weird. As yeah.
I kind of like I can't actually do this, but I let out like a low whine and kind of like, like 1 anxiety. Got it.
And then Fen. So if you for your bonus action or secondary action, you can like choose to do like an influence and daunt check to try to like taunt a creature to you and try to get them to like mechanically only target you. Otherwise you can just simply attack if whatever you want to do. Yeah.
I'll try that. I'll try to daunt to get them to
Sure,
lay
okay.
off with Zora, so Zora can take care of the high priestess. I'm never good at my influence though. Okay, that's not so bad. That's a 52.
Yep, you succeed. As your goal was the honor guard goes to you instead of helping the high priest, right? Okay, perfect. So that's what happens, that they look to the attention and they kind of like put their context clues together, and it's like, oh, they're a threat. I need to deal with them, before I help out anyone else, essentially. So, yeah, and then do you want to go to attack?
Yes, please.
Okay, go to roll for it.
78.
78, okay. That is a critical success, so go ahead and roll double damage dice.
You got it. And I also have throw hands, so my feral weapons are a D10 now.
Oh my god.
And I rolled
Yeah.
2 9s, so an 18,
18?
points
Okay.
of damage.
Oh,
As I
Don't forget the bonus
one of them.
with the Scepter of Midnight in your hand, perhaps? Oh, never mind.
It's
I
not a
think they're doing
magical
unarmed.
attack.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But I will. I've already used my secondary, so I won't make them bleed more. But I do bite the shit out of them.
Okay. 40, there you. Okay. Perfect. Okay, good. So after that, is there anything else you'd like to do?
Look really badass. That's it.
You do so as yeah, Father Narc is super hyped, being like, "That's the person who took my arm," as or like hand, as like they're like super hyping you up. And then so now it is the Sons of Midnight as they go into to strike. So outside, they essentially like try to target each one of you during this, except for Fumi, because Fumi was able to stun their target. And so they're not going to be able to do anything. So one of them goes to Leo as they take like a spear and then just tries to like jam it into your side as you try to run across. That's going to be a 98%. So
Yeah, 40 defense. So
they do get a critical. So it is going to be 10 points of physical stress. As
also, sorry, no. Finish your thought, and then I have a thing.
no, you're good. So they stab into your side essentially, and then that's what they do, and then
I have an ability called Revenge, and when a creature crits against me, I can attack them back for 1d6 exhaustion. So I think Leo gets stabbed into the side, and they kind of just shouldn't have done that, and then just kind of like pushes Sunder up against this person's chest and just shoots again, point blank. And that is going to be a 90.
90. Yep, you critically success. So go ahead and roll double damage dice.
That is 15 points of damage.
Okay. 50. All right, good. Perfect. So you get stabbed in the side, but you turn around and you shoot, and then it just pops and blows a hole into that person's like chest, and even attacks the person behind them in the process as you like continue heading over to this main tent. Fumi's good. So then it's gonna go over to Fen as the honor guard that you like took a chunk out of goes to take like their axe essentially and just tries to like hack into you. And that will be for 36 for your defense.
That just gets me.
Just gets you okay.
Yeah,
So
I'm a 32.
And that is 3 points of physical stress that you take as it like does cut into your thick hide just barely and begins to you feel blood seep from you. And
Wait,
then
what's the difference? 20, 32, and what?
32 and a 36.
Okay.
okay. I was like, can you do something weird? And then like
No,
yeah.
I'm just the scepter bonus for.
Oh, the 2%. Yeah, that's right. So, what happens at this time is that the Mizlith actually looks to you, Zora, and then tries to strike you as she pulls in this energy from the dream realm and then tries to strike at you, which will be a 12 versus your arm, your defense
Defense value. Fail.
She tries to strike you, and then you just put up like this barrier and is able to deflect it, no problem.
Oh no, I bare my teeth like at her arm.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Snap.
Then you're able to, yeah, and then dodge out of the way as the other honor guard comes for Fen as they see that their companion is like bleeding and some of their face is mauled off and all that. So they come for you. That's going to be a 98%. So, so that's going to be double damage. So that is 5 points of physical stress. As they both have these like ornate, hand axes, not magical, but just like looks pretty. As they just chop into you and trying to like take you down. They had to use their movement and they headed over there so they can't attack again. So after that, it's gonna go to Father Narek, who's gonna help out and be like, I got you, homie, as he like gets into the fray and then uses his thing. Getting sure enough, yeah. So that works, and that will be go. Okay, good, and then perfect. So he deals 8 points of damage as he takes his like arm blade and just like thrusts it through the chest of one of the honor guard, and then it goes straight back up to Leo. As with this movement action, you will make it to the tent. Yeah.
Cool. I think, yeah, I will continue to move then and get in front of the tent. Am I able to see inside of it at all, or?
For sure, the flaps are open, so you can clearly see a giant, like, rage-filled, Vulgani that is, like, fighting, as well as the High Priestess is trying to, like, take Zora, who's in, like, fox form, off of her, but is failing to do so, yeah.
I think looking inside, Leo kind of, like, is, like, surprised for a bit, not expecting to see Fen as a full wolf, and is like, noted. And I think is going to, instead of shooting with their gun, I'm actually going to activate my Underrealm Bolt, and I think you can see from Leo's horns this like electricity start to like crackle up like along their horns, and once it hits the point of them, the energy, the lightning per se, from their horns goes and hits the priestess, the high priestess.
Sure.
And if I'm reading this correctly, I don't think I need to roll for it. I think it just happens.
Okay. Yeah, that is correct. So go ahead and roll your damage.
That is only 4 points of damage.
There we go. Perfect. So you look into the tent, you see it, and you just like unload. Does it have an exhaustion cost or any cost like that? So
It does.
Okay,
I take
good.
2 exhaustion for it.
That works. Perfect. And then you do have a secondary action if there's anything else you'd like to do, whether it be reload your weapon or anything like that. Otherwise, you're good. Yeah.
I will reload my weapon. I did want to ask you, how many bullets does that have, just so I can keep track of that myself?
We'll say it has like 4 bullets,
Okay,
and then
cool,
you on
cool.
your person will have 4. Yeah.
Cool.
And then after you, it's gonna go ahead and go to Fumi.
Yes. I think so. I'm hysterical. I'm not quite. I don't think I'm gonna shapeshift quite yet. I'm just gonna keep at sort of the direction of the mob that I'm at, and I'm gonna attack again. But I think I also want to. Is it possible for me to have activate a vice while also still having my hysteria up?
Sure.
Yeah. I think Fumi, on top of this hysteria that she has, the anger, the discomfort rather, easily having turned into that anger from the hysteria, I think it's just beginning to pool and sort of tip over, and she's going to activate her wrath vice so that her wrath increases, her accuracy increases, and my wrath is 8, so this is going to get buck wild right now, and I'm going to attack, and then I'm going to add an additional 1d6 on top of my additional 1d8 that I already have.
Okay.
If I hit, so we'll see. Okay, that is a 6 on the die, so that's 73 because of my no, I'm sorry, that's not right. Yes, 73.
Okay.
Plus no, I'm sorry, not 73. Oh my god.
You're good.
My brain.
What are the numbers?
Okay, so it's the plus 5% accuracy, and then the plus, what is it? The plus 8 accuracy because of the wrath. And then my agility is 8 and my fight is 2.
21. So
83.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with an 83,
83.
you crit. So go ahead and do double damage.
Amazing. Is it just double damage on my weapon?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So that's 4, and then we're adding 7. So that's 11 points altogether.
Perfect. As anything else for you?
I'm not gonna move, so I'd like to go again.
Go for it. Yeah.
I'd like to attack again, just a regular attack. That's a 9 on the die.
9. So that's 90. So yeah, with your bonuses, it's probably going to get you to Valor. So go ahead and roll double damage dice, and then after that, we'll have you roll the D10 or D20.
Okie dokie. So that's 8 damage. And on the D20 is a 16.
16? Great. Okay, so your last swing caused a twinge in your back, causing 1d8 exhaustion. So
Okay.
you're just tacking in a super feral form, and it's like, oh shit, my back. As it just like makes it a little bit exhausted.
It's almost as if like my shoulder blade pops out in a way that it shouldn't, but then I like kind of shadow form it back into place.
Perfect.
That was exhaustion. Sorry.
Exhaustion. Yep.
Okay, got it.
So then after that, let me go ahead and pull it up really quick. Go for it.
Oh, it's my turn is next in the
You
word
are
that I
correct.
right?
Yep.
Okay. How is this priestess looking?
So, with your general sort of perception, you can see that the priestess is not looking too good. Still solid. The weakest ones, as you kind of peer behind Leo, who's at the tent entrance, her cultists are not doing good at all. Like they're getting destroyed by all of these iron lions and everything like that. They're probably the weakest out there as they're falling to pieces. One of the honor guards is also not doing too good. The other one's really, really solid, and she herself is like doing all right. Injured but not dead. Still bleeding.
All right. Since I am in my shape-shifted form, I will just make two attacks against her.
Okay.
Both. That's 100 plus. I'm gonna pull for the first one.
Okay. You don't want to do like magic attacks? You don't want to cast magic at all?
Am I gonna kill her?
Who knows? That's if you roll. So, since you're doing melee attack, you're gonna do double damage dice, and then after that, we'll have you roll the valor table, and then you do your
the second attack. Okay, so both of these attacks are that's strength and
fight. Yeah.
Strength and fight. 102 for both.
102. Dang. All right. So, go to roll. Double damage dice for both, and then you'll roll the valor table twice. So.
Damn. I'm sorry.
Thankfully, the valor table is like kind to martial classes. The chaos magic table is the most unforgiving, depending on different circumstances. But yeah.
This D8 is a freaking hater. It rolled four times.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use a different dice. It just rolled 4 a fifth time. Someone needs to throw this away.
Weighted dice. I mean, it is average, so it's good. Could be worse.
Yeah. I mean, it's not bad. It's just like, throw a 1 in there or something. What are you doing? I don't know. Okay. Also, I can't find any more D4, so 16 it is.
16? Okay.
For damage, and then I will roll on the...
So you're going to roll a D20 twice, essentially. Let me know what the results are.
Oh, D20. Okay. A 10 and a 20.
Okay. So, number 1, your attack lands in a vulnerable part of their armor, causing them to gain the cracked condition. The cracked condition means their defense value decreases by 10% permanently. So, you need 30% to hit them. Now you need 20% to hit them. Same with your allies and all that kind of stuff. For that 20%, or 20, okay, you find a weakness in your foe's fighting style, and you land a mortal wound. Enemy takes 1d12 damage, so go ahead and do that extra damage.
Damn, I kind of wanted to talk to her.
I mean, she's still alive, technically.
That's 11.
Oof. God. All right, so there we go. You're mauling her. Her skin, her flesh is rending, and
just
she's
like all you see is just the ripping, like claws flying, and
she looked immaculate.
Yeah. can't even trust a burrito that I'm here. Like, take me to your maker. I'm ready to go now.
Okay, so anything else for you?
Would I be able to shift back?
Yeah. So you use your two, like, you use your movement to like attack, and you use your primary to attack. So your bonus can be used to shift back. Yeah.
And as I shift back, I'm kind of just like, one claw is on the throat, and like a shiver goes through my body, and I'm like looking down at her from above, and I'm like, so we ready to be done yet?
She's like, as she coughs up blood, and she will respond on her turn. So then, after Zora, it's gonna go to Fen.
Beautiful. Those attacks, even though there was a crit, didn't do very much damage to Fen, and I think they kind of shrug them off. Is that supposed to hurt? And their voice is like this really low timbre where it sounds like old cracked iron. Is the way that their voice like resonates out of their throat and bubbles up through their teeth. And I am just gonna bite. I cannot tell you, D'Angelo, how much I am going to bite the shit out of these guys. Just absolutely so 10%, very much.
Actually, it's a 2v2, so I think the flanking will cancel out, so it'll just be a straight roll. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. That is a 44, 46 on the first one. And I'm gonna not move, so I will just roll my second attack.
Okay.
As well, and that is going to be an 106.
All right, perfect. So go to roll the damage for the first attack. And there are two honor guards. The one you've been already dealing damage with, which like they're looking pretty beat up, and then there's the other one that's pretty full health.
Okay, so for the full health guy, is gonna be 9 damage just on that one slash, and I am gonna use my good old deep cuts feature, so he will be bleeding for the next 2 turns, and that bleed damage is double, so that's going to be 4d8, I believe, or 44, excuse me, per bleed round, unhinged. And then should I roll double dice for the crit on the other one?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. That is also going to be 9 points of damage on the other one.
9 points. There we go. And then after that, anything else for you?
Should I roll on the Valor table for the crit?
That is correct. Go to roll D20.
An 8.
8. Okay. And all right, cool. So you slip, accidentally dealing a critical blow to your target. Automatic critical success. So we'll turn that normal attack into a crit. So go to roll an extra D8, I think it was, or D10 rather. Yeah.
Damn. All right. Only 6.
6. Okay.
Extra 6.
There we go. Perfect. And then after you, it's gonna go ahead and go. So that was. So it's gonna be the Sons of Midnight. All right. So we'll go with. So the one that Fumi blinded is no longer blinded. So they're gonna try to like surround Fumi and like attack and everything, which will be 64% against Fumi.
Yes.
Okay. And that'll be 9 points of damage that you'll take since they were able to crit. As you feel the like spears begin to scrape and stab and everything. And it's not just like one person attacking you. It's like multiple people trying to like get at you as you're trying to duck and dodge through this swarm of people. The other one is going to be for Leo. You see that one of the cultists outside is like trying to rush you and try to get to you. Going to 56 for your defense.
I'm at a 40, so that does hit.
Okay, not a crit, but does 6 damage, physical stress, as they get you pretty good, probably in like the leg and everything. And then it'll go over to Fen, who one of the honor guards is gonna try to strike at you for 26 to your defense. Nope. All right.
Does not hit.
The other one is going to attack Father Narek, this loving grandfather who's trying to get back to his grandkids, and it'll get a 88%. So Father Narek gets hit, and there we go. Perfect. And then after that, it'll be Mizlith. So Mizlith looks to you, Zora, and is wounded as, you know, her flesh is torn apart and is like bleeding profusely and all that kind of stuff. And she just is looking around and can see her cult is like falling apart, or like her cultists that she's in charge of are like falling apart, and everything's going really, really like awry. As she goes, she kind of tells you like, please don't kill me, and I'll do whatever you say. As she kind of like holds up her hand in sort of surrender. And her honor guard looks back, is like, what? As they like are kind of like just completely distracted by this and don't know quite what to do. And
The unnaturally wide smile comes out with the fangs kind of bared. Excellent.
perfect. Okay, good. And then after that, she kind of like says like, you know, stand down, everyone, just stand down, as she like cries out to everyone as they slowly begin to stop battle. And the Iron Lions, even though they took a couple losses, they're ultimately ahead, as these are trained fighters, and these cultists are just normal people who joined this sort of cult and got indoctrinated and all that. And combat has ended for this. Oh, actually, she's still bleeding. Let me go ahead and do that. Oof, she's almost dead. So she's like trying to cover her wound and put pressure on it and everything. But ultimately, combat ends as everyone stands down and begins to drop their weapons and kind of like raise their sort of like hands. And she goes like, please, I beg of you, don't end my life. Like, I just joined this cult because there was nothing else for us to do here in the Dream Realm. As she gets on her hands and knees, and at her hands and knees is this ornate scythe that hums and vibrates with power, just like the scepter does, that you sort of have. And she looks to you, completely vulnerable. What would you like to do or say?
That is a completely wild reason, just considering the fact we just saw you sacrificing a bunch of people.
Hello?
And she
I
goes,
know boredom does a lot, but trying to end an entire criminal syndicate out of boredom is a very, very poor decision.
and she kind of looks very desperate, and she goes, I had no choice. Like, if I didn't comply, I would be turned into a corky stuffed animal, and I don't want that. Like, so I joined and did the best I could. Like, we have to serve the Pink Witch, otherwise we're just going to be destroyed here. As she tries to plead with you and look to you all desperately.
Where is she?
And she goes like, I don't know. No one really knows. She teleports all around this realm.
I squeeze tighter.
As she goes, but wait. As she goes, I do know something that might help you. As she goes, she kind of like points out of her tent, and you can see in the far distance there is another settlement. And she goes, over there is like Keswick, and he's a summoner. As you guys kind of remember in the tent that first night that you saw, he was the person you fought, the summoner. And he was the performers that perform at her sort of carnival. They rotate in performances and everything. And when they're not performing, they have their own territories that they get to manage and control. And that's where Keswick is. He knows where the schedule and when he's supposed to appear where. So he will tell you, I don't have authority to like look at the schedule, to know that information. I'm just here to gather the followers that come into the Dream Realm and either have them comply and help us out, or to like deal with them. And as she looks, as she is almost dead, and yeah. Any other like questions or anything like that you'd like to?
I think
Go ahead, Fen. Please, I insist.
I think Fen is a few feet away still, and is struggling to get out of their feral form. Like, they're trying to shift back, but it seems like when they finally get down back to size, like their bows are really cracked, and there's like more fur around their face and on their arms and hands, and their teeth and their fingers are still a little sharp and trembling. And there's like blood smeared across their face where it was on their fur. It's kind of translated back to their skin. And she hobbles kind of closer, looks at Leo. Do you think you'll be able to keep an eye on this crew? Here, keep this mountain held under the protection of the Iron Lions while we head off that way.
Easily. With all of these cultists now dead, easily. And actually, and Leo kind of like bends down and takes the scythe that is at this priestess's feet, picks it up. I'll be taking that.
And you feel it vibrate and hum with sort of immense power that you've seen activated multiple times as you've been in combat with Mizlith for months now, and you know like how she activates this, what she does with it, and it's in your control and in your power now, for better or for worse, whatever you want to decide to do. And yeah, is there anything you'd like to decide to do before move forward?
I think Leo, taking this scythe, kind of looks over towards where Fumi is, and like not even like walking towards her, not lowering their voice or anything, just straight across the tent, I think, just kind of yells out, if you want to leave, you can. I'm giving you final offer right now.
I think Fumi, in a similar state to Fen, just like racked up. I mean, I think she's coming down from the hysteria, like the eyes sort of like coming back to just like the black, sort of vague, smoky color that they are. But I think the wrath is still sort of there, and there's like, I think, almost being affected by your voice in this moment still, the like trembling in her shoulders, and like again the like bristling oil sort of coming up into the air. But I do think that she takes a moment and looks over to Fen and Zora, because she has, I think, just throughout the fight, just noticing like my team is so fucking cool. Like she feels she's very proud of it.
And Don Francisco, that's like throwing up in the
corner.
corner.
And Don Francisco, who's like still, he's like, you know, Steve is helping him out. She just kind of seemingly like shakes off like the wrath. Listen, in another world, maybe, but certainly not this one.
Fine. That's your choice to make then. And Leo just turns back, I think, towards Fen. We'll hold this settlement. If you can promise that you are able to deal with the Pink Witch in the other town.
I'm not about to let her get out of my sight.
Good. Have no mercy.
Never have. Never will. And Fen starts to turn away. And they pause for a moment, look back towards Leo, and their eyes like flick behind Leo toward Fumi and then back to Leo. Don't forget, young one. You also have a choice. Good night.
What's that mean?
So with that, dawn essentially breaks at this time as the cultists all surrender. There's not enough of them to even put up a fight against the Iron Lions, as they all rally to sort of victory under the banner of their leader, Leo. As Leo, you probably look to this scepter, or this scythe rather, and being like, you know that if you overclock it, you can escape the dream realm, but you alone could escape, and leaving your people behind, which you have decided not to do. So you've decided to honor.
That was the offer for Fumi. If Fumi would have said yes, I would have taken her with me.
And then, with that, you guys make it back to the settlement and recover and rest fully, because everyone else is kind of like in their sort of like prisons, and like you guys all celebrate with tacos and enchiladas the next day and all that kind of stuff, using the resources that the cultists had in their camp and everything. And yeah, good job, guys. You survived, as you now know who has the information to get you to the Pink Witch. You just have to meet up this summoner again, but it's okay. You beat him once, right? You can totally beat him again.
We're gonna kill him. We're gonna beat the shit out of him.
We didn't beat him the first time. He tricked us, essentially.
True.
So
And then we beat him.
you fooled me once. Shame on me. Twice.
You know.
Somebody called George.
Yeah, there you
I don't
go.
remember the line.
Perfect. So, with that, we want to thank our special guest, Hamna, for being here. So, Hamna, go ahead and start us off by telling us where you can be found and what you're up to next.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. My name is Humna. I use any and all pronouns, and today I have been Leo, who also uses any and all pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at @shahid_, where I talk about all of the different projects that I'm a part of. I am a TTRPG performer, so I'm on a variety of different streams and whatnot. Super exciting is tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I believe that's correct. See, correct me if I'm wrong. I will be over on the Exquisite Corpses Twitch channel to play Divine Intervention. It's our finale. See is part of it. We are fighting an old god who's trying to eat us. It's gonna be an unhinged time. We have so many guests coming on for this episode. It's gonna be a battle for the ages. You will not want to miss it. Definitely show up. And with that, I guess I will pass it over to C.
Oh, Shancher, thank you so much, Hubna. That was... Anyway, hi, my name is C. I use they, them pronouns. You can find me making very trans, very gay art on the internet at @PieSharpArt. Tonight, I played your beloved werewolf, Gilf, Fen. So if you liked that, you'll like other things that I do. You can find me, as Humna already said, tomorrow on Divine Intervention Season 1 finale. I want to break their heart. That's all. That's a threat. It's a threat. What else am I on? You can find me doing lots and lots of stuff, so check out my Twitter if you want to know. You can always find me on Saturdays at Transplaner at 7 p.m. US Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. So check out Transplaner if you want to know what I'm doing. I'm also, like I said, in lots of different stuff. So heart emoji is me. And I'll pass things over to Janine.
Hello, my name is Janine, she, her pronouns, and you can find me on Twitter at Blips and Shits, where I have my pinned tweet with all of my shows. Yeah, you can find me on Tuesdays over at 12-Sided Stories. That's 12 with a 1-2. And we play various and sundry games that are usually horror themed, which I love so much. And then on Saturdays, you can find me over at Lore Everlasting. We're running a rerun of our first episode, and then we kick back into our Arthurian legend themed D&D game. Very exciting. And regularly on Sundays, you can find me on Total Party Chill's channel running our long-loved homebrew campaign. There we go. Where we play a bunch of teenagers just trying to figure out how to, save the world and be friends with each other. And it is very fucking petty. Lots of fighting. It's great. Yeah. Follow me on Twitter.
Perfect. And then, Joe.
Me. Hi everybody. I'm Josephine. I'm at Scary Dog Friend. I have been Fumitira, your emotionally unavailable Kitsune friend. You can find me on the Not Safe for Work Monster Fucker podcast, Monster Fuckers Anonymous, Going for RPG, gonna be rolling Call of Cthulhu over there as well, Starlight Tales, Girls Run These Worlds, things that I don't remember at the moment. Follow me on Twitter. I tell a bunch of racists all the time that I'm gonna fuck their mom. So if you want that kind of content, I'm quite frankly always here.
Perfect. And my name is D'Angelo Murillo. This is my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by and being here to support indies. This is a dark fantasy tabletop RPG that's currently in development. And Hamna is one of the writers for this, so I'm like super excited to be able to working with all these talented people to create this awesome dark fantasy game. If you want to check out more information, it's in the chat. To see more about the lore on Twitter, we're dropping like lore drops every other day, as well as like staff information and everything like that. It's a really cool game, so be sure to check it out. And thank you again so much for the support. And then we are gonna go ahead and take a moment to rate someone super fast to spread the love really quickly. And then after that, we will head out. Let me see.
Speaking of lore drops, today's Twitter lore drop was about the Iron Lions, so if you want to learn more about them, you should go check out the Emerald Templars Twitter. Just leaving that out there for you. There's maybe some really good art of Leo. I don't know. Just
It's true. Based off one of the writers. Yep. Wonder who that could be. Yeah, it's pretty good. And then I think we'll
over here on Twitter.
I think we'll go with -2 charisma. And there we go. We're preparing the raid. I hope you guys all have a wonderful night and have a happy holiday and everything. See you guys later. And then, perfect. We are out.
Oh yeah, I did see that one.
I need to go throw up. I'll see you later.
I'm so sorry, Joe.
No, it's all
Bye.
good.
I hope you feel
It's all
better.
good. Yes, I'll be fine. Thank you so much. See you all later. Bye.
Bye. How are you?